morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on After GMS. It is 7:45. We appreciate you having your phones or your tablets or your computers logged on to us as we give you the latest on the coronavirus headlines and some things that will make you smile today. So Ed, Megan and Stacy, you guys have your phones? And
oh yeah.
Okay, we're going to respond to a lot of people today. Really excited to get it going. So Ed, speaking of things to get going, let's get a look at the forecast.
Yeah, I just ask everybody, do you like the warm weather? And it didn't take Tracy but a second to respond. Yes, Ed, you know I love the 80s. Yeah, not the decade necessarily, although that was a great decade. We're going to see more 80-degree temperatures, not only today, but tomorrow and right on through Thursday. Now, this is well above our normal high of 68. We'll be up into the low 80s. Now, with the daytime heating, there may be a few pop-up showers and storms each afternoon today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Now, on Thursday, a cold front's going to move through, and that'll kind of knock the temperatures down a little bit by Friday and Saturday. We see dry weather during that period, but temperatures drop back into the mid-60s and as cool as the low 40s by Saturday morning. Many of our models are coming together now to show a rather wet Easter Sunday in the Piedmont as low pressure moves out of the southern plains. I think it'll tap some rich moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and I think Sunday and Sunday night going to be pretty wet across the Piedmont.
All right, well, we do have a lot more to get to besides the forecast. We also have some stories that are going to make you smile today. So, Stacy, why don't you give us a little preview of what you're working on?
Well, Tracy, for most of us, we've never lived through something like this, a pandemic. I mean, it's just really weird to think about, but there are some people out there that have actually lived through something similar to this before. We're talking about the Spanish flu, and we're going to meet one woman that lived through that time and actually recently celebrated her 103rd birthday. And also, I think it's ironic that today is World Health Day, and we're talking about ways that we are admiring and thanking those healthcare workers. I know a lot of people have been doing a lot of things for them, taking them food, gifts, celebrating them through song, dance, whatever it may be. We want to know what you have done to celebrate and honor those healthcare workers, those people that are working on the front lines during this pandemic, and we'll talk about both of those coming up.
All right, Stace, sounds good. So we'll get to that in a second, but Megan has the most up-to-date COVID-19 numbers in the Triad State and around the country. So get us started, Megan.
Yeah, we want to get you the latest information. Of course, we are on a mission to give you facts, not fear, in light of this. So here's what we have so far. President Donald Trump says this is the toughest week yet during the COVID-19 crisis, with a predicted surge in coronavirus cases. Keep in mind, testing still continues to increase. Triad health leaders reported 3 more deaths. Davidson County reported its first, Guilford County its 4th, and Rowan County its 2nd. Across North Carolina, 89 counties are reporting a total of 2,870 confirmed cases of COVID-19. There is some good news to report in all of this. County health leaders are also reporting many North Carolinians testing positive have recovered. Out of 99 confirmed cases in Forsyth County, 45 people have recovered. Of Alamance County's 20 confirmed cases, 12 have fully recovered. And Rockingham County has 6 confirmed cases. Health leaders say 2 patients are already back home and healthy. We are working to get the numbers from every Piedmont county, especially the ones we did not mention. We'll update you as that information comes in. In your national headlines now, the CDC is reporting more than 360,000 cases of COVID-19 across the country and more than 11,000 deaths. COVID-19 also has tanked the economy and decreased much-needed medical supplies to hospitals. Meanwhile, lawmakers are pushing forward with plans for another coronavirus stimulus package.
Well, FedEx founder and CEO Fred Smith is taking a 91% reduction in his salary for the next 6 months to help his company. Smith will keep the salary cut until September 30th. His pay will go from $115,000 a month to less than $11,000 a month. Now, FedEx says after charitable donations and tax deductions, Smith will make $1 per pay period. At least 2 auto insurers are giving back millions in premiums to car owners. Allstate says it is refunding about 15% of premiums paid by customers in April and May, citing the stay-at-home orders in many states. That adds up to about $600 million in refunds. And American Family Insurance says it will be returning about $50 per insured vehicle. That totals to about $200 million in refunds. Well, 2 Triad Faith Centers are making sure those in need are getting something to eat. Today, Mount Zion Baptist Church in Greensboro is giving away Chick-fil-A and fresh produce. They'll be outside the church on Alamance Church Road from 11 to 1 today. In Winston-Salem, Whole Man Ministries is offering catered meals in its drive-thru. They're on Old Lexington Road, again in Winston-Salem, serving every weekday from 5:30 to 7 at night. So as you spend more time at home, fire officials say it's critical for you to recognize where potential fire hazards exist and how to prevent a disaster. WFMY News 2's Candace Redd is sharing important home fire safety tips.
Statistics show cooking is the #1 cause of home fires, but unattended cooking is the biggest problem. The top home fire prevention tip is to stay in the kitchen while you're cooking. That includes frying, boiling, grilling, broiling, simmering, baking, and roasting. If you leave the kitchen even for a second, turn off the stove. You should also check the food often and use a timer. If you have children, fire officials say you should create a kid-free zone of at least 3 feet around the stove.
You want everyone out of the area when you're cooking. That's just to make sure that we're avoiding any spills or accidental burns. You know, children, they can reach up and grab a pot handle, so you want to make sure your pot handles are turned inward so that that can't happen, and just maintaining that 3 foot or more distance.
Fire officials are also sending a reminder to the public to check the smoke alarm system. Smoke alarms should be located on every level of the home, in each bedroom, and near all sleeping areas. Now is also a good time to develop and practice a home fire escape plan, especially if you have children. For more information on this, all you have to do is head over to our website. That's WFMYnews2.com.
All right, let's get to some news that will make you smile this morning. Stacy, you've got 2 for us.
Yeah, I consider myself the bearer of happy news, and I am good with that. I love any reason to smile. And I think introducing you to this woman is just going to make you appreciate life and also just smile this morning. That's what I want to do, is make you smile. So, Miss Aurel Bergerson, which I hope I said her name right, she turns 103 next week, and she's lived through a pandemic before. She was actually a baby when she outlived the 1918 influenza pandemic, which killed about 50 million people worldwide. Now, just over a century later, Bergerson is taking precautions to make it through the COVID-19 pandemic. She's quarantining with one of her 3 daughters, and her birthday is Tuesday, April 14th, and her birthday wish is for this all to be over. And I can't imagine living through something twice. I mean, I know she was just a baby the first time, but I'm sure growing up she learned about relatives and family friends that went through what, you know, essentially what we're kind of going through now.
Yeah, I think we're all like screaming and shouting and like dancing and saying congratulations to this woman for living to 103 years old and hopefully for much longer. I mean, she has seen a lot, been through a lot, but I bet she has some great advice. You know, whenever I need advice, the seniors in my life are always the people who know how to get through a situation, and she's doing it by celebrating her birthday, and I love it. And how old is your mom?
My mom is 83. She turned 83 on March the 12th. And I got to tell you, you know, and this is a message to young people. This is a message for everybody, quite frankly. Talk to our senior citizens. Not only do they deserve and certainly enjoy the company of other people, because quite frankly, they can get lonely sometime, but they're so fascinating and so interesting to talk to about things that they have been through in their lives. It's like talking to a history book, and that history book is able to communicate back with you. And I think you're going to find you can learn a lot of things from our wonderful senior citizens. Imagine all the things, all the events that she's lived through. World War I, World War II. She was a baby during the pandemic back in 1918. 50 million people worldwide perish because of that virus. Just a lot of great stories from our senior citizens, and I encourage everybody to take some time to spend some time with a senior citizen.
Yeah, some of the best stories that we've aired on News 2 come from Megan Malaris and her interviews with World War II veterans. Love those stories. You've shared a lot of moments with seniors, and you know probably better than anybody, you know, how much information and history that they hold.
Oh, thank you. Yes, they are so inspirational to talk to, just to have that opportunity before it's too late to really listen. And a lot of these seniors cannot wait to tell you their stories. They want to pass them on to the next generation. And just going along the lines of what Ed was saying about some seniors being lonely, it's important to keep that in mind right now, especially as a lot of nursing homes, assisted living, senior apartment facilities are restricting visitors. Let's call our loved ones who are older or elderly. Let's make sure that they're still getting that stimulation, whether it be by phone or a handwritten letter. Let's let them know we're thinking about them to try to fend off some of those feelings of isolation.
Yeah, FaceTime and Skype are really big with the seniors now too, which is pretty awesome. All right, Stacey, what is talker number 2?
Well, as we need to continue to think about our elderly, we also need to remember the healthcare workers, those on the front lines. And today is actually World Health Day. So we want to say thank you to all those that are working so hard right now in hospitals across the country, really just in the healthcare industry, not only for being on the front lines of the coronavirus, but for what they do to keep the entire world healthy from day to day. So to show their support, we've seen a lot of people giving out free meals, taking them food, having food delivered. They're lining up to applaud and sing and pray over these healthcare workers, and also send care packages to those healthcare workers. So this morning, I want to know, what is the best way that you think is to say thank you and send well wishes to those healthcare workers on World Health Day? We've already seen a lot of people doing really cool things, but maybe you have some ideas. I would love to do something to say thank you to all those people.
Yeah, I certainly pray for them every day, every moment. We have a lot of nurses who are members of our church, and they give us updates via our Facebook page, and we communicate with them all the time, just giving them inspiration and motivation and appreciation, I think, is the biggest part in all this. They just, you know, do it because, you know, and they don't think twice about going into work and making sure people are healthy and safe. So I appreciate them very, very much.
And you know, over the past couple of years, my mom has had several illnesses. Now, she's doing fantastic now. And I will humbly confess that I have taken our healthcare workers and our wonderful and very intelligent, smart doctors for granted. I know Mom was at Moore Regional down in Pinehurst several times over the past couple of years. Just a wonderful staff of nurses at the hospital. The doctors just really, really eager to help, and they did. She's doing well now, and my own doctors helping me to keep my diabetes in control and things like that. Never, ever, ever again will I take these wonderful servants in our community for granted. Never again.
Yeah, I love the way that our community is coming together, whether it's making masks or, you know, giving free food. This is really what our community is all about, right, Meg?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Tracy, I love what you said about the power of prayer. I know a lot of religious congregations are banding together to spread prayer virtually these days for all of us and our healthcare workers. I've been praying especially for my cousin who's a physician on the front lines of this in a big metro city, praying for her well-being when she goes to work every day, praying for the health and safety of her patients. And again, I think it's so important to show our healthcare workers we care about them by checking in on them. Even just a simple text or call to a loved one saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Good luck at work today. Let me know when you get home and if you want to talk sometime. A little checking in sometimes goes a long way.
It does. I mean, it's just one more reason why we have to say thank you when we can, show that appreciation, but also realize that if we work together, we can get through this. All right, we need to get through a forecast and a potentially another round of severe weather.
Yeah, we'll be on the lookout for things this afternoon, Tracy. We don't expect a lot of activity, just a few pop-up showers and storms, but there is a possibility that one or two of those could be strong or severe with some hail and damaging winds. We'll warm into the low 80s today. We'll keep a low shower or storm chance in for Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon. No real organized activity. This will be due just to primarily daytime heating. Now, a cold front will move through on Thursday. That's going to knock the temperatures down a little bit. We're actually going to get back closer to our normal high of 68 by about Friday and Saturday. Highs will be generally into the mid-60s. More and more of our models are coming on board for bringing a system out of the southern plains on Sunday and Sunday night. Right now, unfortunately, it looks as though Easter Sunday may turn out to be quite wet here in the Piedmont.
All right, well, we certainly hope that we've been able to put a smile on your face, whether it's through Stacy's trending topics or Ed's fantastic forecast for the next few days. We certainly appreciate you connecting with us on Facebook Live. We do this every day at 7:45, and we can't wait to do it with you again tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone. Keep your spirits up. We'll get through this.
Yes. So it's just my part of the T's. Yeah, my part of the T's, and then the verify. You just let me know when she's rolling, and I just say my part, and you guys just edit it onto Tracy's, I think.